Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 0048 of Gary's Glorious Golden Nuggets. And today we have Steve Greenhalgh, who is the creator of StuckinaTruck, which is a wonderful online video series that I highly recommend people watch. Steve's a very interesting individual. He began his working career really in the five-star hotel industry, but realized that this was wonderful being a single guy, but being a married man, it was going to ruin everything for him. So he left it. He's lived around the world in that regards. He's been a businessman. He's been a joiner. He's picked up some trades, but now he drives long distance trucking within the UK, and he has created his own entrepreneurial online presence. So without any further ado, Steve, welcome to Gary's Glorious Golden Nuggets.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it's really good to have you here, Steve, because I think you're going to bring in some very interesting perspectives in regards to being an online entrepreneur, areas of leadership that you have to employ, whether it's only leading yourself correctly or helping other people to get their lives figured out. The other thing that I think is that there's a spiritual path that seems to materialize when people get into this world that really, for myself, I did not expect. I did not expect that there's this energetic presence that's going on when we're involved.
I'm slightly less esoteric than a lot, although I'm spiritually based. And so many of these people that come across online, they say, I'm manifesting. And then they'll look out the window and the Rolls Royce still isn't on the drawing. And you can manifest to your heart's content, but if you don't put the work in, nothing is going to come of it. And my favourite book along those lines is Michael Singer's Untethered Soul. He just did the work. He didn't ask what the work had to be, but when it was presented, he did the work.
Ladies and gentlemen, gold nuggets already all over the place. You have to do the work. I mean, you can't just sit down and stare at your belly button all day. You have to get up and make action. Yeah.
If you want a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure business, you've got to provide value.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what's the one thing you wish you had known before you had become an online entrepreneur?
That I was good enough.
Can you elucidate a little bit on that?
One of my early mentors in the online space, Stuart Ross, kept drilling into me, Steve, you're a truck driver. That's your audience. And my response was always, yeah, but you don't know truck drivers, they're knuckle draggers, they're not the brightest of people, they're aggressive. If they can't knock it out or hit it with a hammer, it doesn't get fixed. And he said, yeah, but Steve, you're a truck driver. But I'm unusual, but Steve, you're a truck driver. And it took about 5 years for me to really hear that message. How arrogant of me to think that I'm the only truck driver with a modicum of intelligence, number one. How arrogant of me to think that I'm the only one who would have the balls to invest in themselves. Talk to that which you know in their language, that know that you're good enough. And if you follow that, you'll set yourself free. Period.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of truth there. So let me ask you this. There's projects that you get involved with as an entrepreneur. You know, some of them don't work out really too well. What's one of the bigger ones that didn't work out too well, and what did you learn from it?
No, I've resisted answering that question because I don't think I've had any failures. I've had some catastrophic screw-ups where I've made mistakes that I've learned from them. So I've never looked back and think, you should have done it like that. You should have. Anybody can look back with 20/20 vision. Even looking at things we've done as a family, my wife and I look back and think, we shouldn't have made that investment. We shouldn't have done. But you know what? We made our best decision at the time with the information we had. And if we went back, we'd make exactly the same decision. So it wasn't a failure. It was an attempt to get further forward. The one thing I really wished I'd done differently was YouTube marketing with paid marketing, because we had a big weekend and it was brilliant, and this guy called Tom Breeze came in and taught us all exactly how to do it, and they put a prize on of $1,000 for the first person to get an ad. So I rushed and I didn't read the rules from Google, and I got an account suspended. And I said, I've got to use this link there because of this. And they said, no, you can't. It's a bridging link. I don't know what a bridging link is. And rather than take the time to find out, I opened another account, suspended for exactly the same thing. And I opened another account. And I phoned the Google rep and said, look, I'm trying to give you $3-4 grand a month here in marketing. I said, if you're trying to impress us, you just failed. You're an annoyance. You are so small that we can't see you on the speck of the needle that you're sitting on the point of. That is immaterial, and you will antagonize our audience. You need to get those 3 accounts out of suspension. You need to get them all ratified. You need associated websites that all work. And even if I got each of those accounts to be legal in Google's eyes, I would be suspended immediately for having 3 accounts, all directing traffic to the same offer. That's called double serving, and that's not allowed in Google's parlance either. So, ready, fire, aim has always been my mantra. In that case, in that one instance, it precluded me, and I still haven't sorted those accounts out. I still don't want to do it, and I'm building a YouTube channel organically and going to the world, because I will do it without paying. I haven't even got the associated websites anymore. I don't even own the domain. So how can I make a website whose domain I no longer own Google compliant? Can't be done. And the other thing I was advised to do was buy another computer, get a different credit card, go to a different address, and pretend to be somebody else. Than a business based on personal integrity. If I have to pretend to be somebody else, sitting at somebody else's home with a credit card in somebody else's, how is that being honest? Won't do it. Of all the online stuff, that one thing, I should have taken my time and asked the question, what's a bridging link? How do I use these links? Learn from that. Just follow the rules. Google will help you. Follow the rules. It's their bat, it's their ball.
I think that is really true. But I also want people to hear what you said about the ready, fire, aim. Because for myself, I've always believed anything that's really worth doing is worth doing poorly in the beginning.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. If we all waited until everything was all good, we're all good to go. I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. You'd never start anything.